What is happening? Welcome back to another day on the Volvo. Today on the agenda, fit these V-belts, get rid of that crank pulley because it's warped. I'll maybe add a wee clip in here of the warpage. We'll have a bucket to catch the water because it's full of coolant. And now that my clutch and flywheel's fixed, works, gearbox in, not broken, box oil, etc, etc, turn the boost up. We have a spring somewhere. There is a spring somewhere that I have for the wastegate. So I think it's in the box. Yeah, we're just going to take the wastegate apart, put another spring in it, and whatever the boost is the boost. Used to run it at 2 bar before, so I know that it can take at least that. If it's more than that, we'll run more than that. Cool, you'll just have to pretend that you can see. You'll see me get covered in water, so it's better than nothing. This is like, the key here is to be fast moving. Pull the hose off, run away. I know it's going to end up on me. I know it's going to end up on me. I can't, the problem is the hose is really tight, so it's hard to get it off. Can't get it off. She's real tight. No. Ah! Yeah, we're just pick a line, mate. Pick a line. Jesus. Bloody hell. That's how you do it. Might have to get a brush. Got most of it though. Right, water on the floor. Radiator out the way, just like that. Boom, bada bing. Dump the rest of the water on the floor. Perfect. Cool, so we can get the 1/2 inch air gun in there because you can't get a battery gun in. 24 and whoop. Right, you've got to hold the gun sideways, get the air line under there. Just comes straight off. Aye. Yeah, you've got to get the gun back off the bolt, and there we go. We're doing a bit of training today. He's new to the Volvo game. That might pull off because it's been off recently. Nope, let's get the puller on it. Cool, let's do it. So the crank pulley's off. If I was an octopus, I could have shown you, but I don't have enough arms. Yeah, just use the 3-jaw puller. One thing I do though is I drill a small hole, not a small hole, like a wee divot in the back of the bolt so that the centre of the 3-jaw puller locates and it doesn't slip off. I don't know where JP's put the bolt, so I can't show you. Where you put the bolt? Where's the bolt? I don't know. How about your feet? And JP? This is what happens when you work with new starts. It's just... I'm going to throw this. Beat that out as well. See, look, new starts, man. Honestly, they just leave everything lying at their hole, and then they wonder why they can't find anything. There we go. There we go. See, little hole to locate the 3-jaw puller. But yeah, that took way longer than it needed to. But now you've seen it, you can be excited about that. So yeah, we'll get the 3-jaw puller back on. We'll put the crank pulley back on. Hit it with a gun, and then take this external wastegate off. Find some springs, put them in, more boost, take it a run. Exciting times. Wee bit of rust from this sitting outside on my spare engine, so I will leave you right here so you can enjoy me holding on to this. Cool, man.
Oh no, the rain's coming.
Oh no, bro.
Oh no, bro. It's stinging rock. It's stinging rocket.
There. Almost there. That was quicker than Scotch Brite. Here. There we go. That will do me. Better than what it was. Not as good as a new one, but I don't have a new one, so that'll have to do. So while JP does the salt and pepper and cleans up that crank pulley, we will set about taking off the wastegate, which won't take long. I need to get this little cable tie in there and just this one clamp right here. I'm going to fix this clamp as well because this always moves, and fire another spring in it. So we will one wastegate remove, and JP is winding in the bolt for this. Leave that there. Come on, my pretty. Yeah. Right, let's do some gate wasting. So if you've ever played with a wastegate before, these sort of older style ones with the bolts at the top are very tricky to get back together because you're going to have to compress all the springs and you don't want to nick the diaphragm, but I've done this a couple of times and I've got a kind of way of doing it. So let's set the camera up and I'll take some Allen keys off. And that's the crank pulley on. Noises. So what you want to do is crack all these bolts away first because they can be quite tight, not crazy tight because they are small, but tight because of the pressure.
Under pressure.
Under pressure. Beautiful. And then if you have a microfiber, use that. Put it in your voice. This is the most disgusting one. Look at the other way. Oh, beautiful. Because I have all the money in the world. Depending on how you're going to sit in your vice, take the two off that you're not going to be able to get to. One. Naturally, I have a fake Tile 44, this is a real one, and I might in the future do a fake versus real wastegate comparison so you can see the fake versus realness, which there isn't that much difference, to be honest. Beautiful.
Might want to lift it a touch to get line. Go a bit high. Just get a wee wiggle, a wee wiggle, a wee wiggle.
I'll just take this screamer off. It's going to have to come off anyway. I'll take this off. Beautiful. I'm actually going to trim this clamp so that it clamps more, because when I got this wastegate off my mate, he was still using the clamps. So these are the Chinese clamps, and they are like slightly too wide where the bolt goes in, so they don't actually clamp that tight because they can't, because they bottom out. So I'm going to shave some more off of this so that it does.
Use it.
So the rest of the Allen keys. One, taking it apart is not too bad. It's the putting it back together that's not that great, because you're not supposed to use any grease or lube on the diaphragm, but I am gonna, because I don't know how people do it without doing that. I'm gonna use a bit of something like fairy liquid, because it'll just evaporate away. And carefully, because the vise isn't big enough. It's all right. Take her apart. Here we go. So I wasn't sure how many springs I had in this, but I've already got 4, which is the maximum amount you can put in. So I could have saved myself a bit of time and hassle and just put a bleed valve on it, but I was trying to be nice. Now it's just getting a bleed valve, but that'll make it super easy for turning the boost up. Let's try and put this back together. Not going to be fun, and I need my fairy liquid. Bit of fairy liquid around the edge, because what you find is that when this cap comes down, you end up nicking the edge of this. This is the diaphragm that moves up and down with the valve. If that's got a hole in it, it doesn't work. So yeah. And it does tell you shouldn't put anything on these, but honestly I don't know how people get them back together. If you don't, maybe they're just more skilled than me, but I doubt that. Cool, let's do stuff. I mean, I might be able to get this with my hand. It's not actually that bad. So, just as long as all the springs are seated. I'll do a wee twisty turny boy. Nah, we'll do it in the vise, we'll do it in the vise. At least I can get this closed enough to get it in the vise. 3, 2, 1, ah! Cool. So we want to wind this super slow. It's making sure it's all kind of going in square.
You're good, my side. Watch yours.
Yeah. I need a wee plastic trim tool just to poke that in, or...
Where are they hiding when they're right here?
No, I think I've got it, I think I've got it. Sorry, because there's a bit of wiggle on this. 2 secs. I'll grab a wee light and just double check. So you can see when you're pushing this in, that it's so easy for this to fold over and nick on itself, and then it's useless. So you just need to be very careful, and a bit of fairy liquid massively helps. Let's have a wee look around it. If you have a look at the bottom and just make sure that it's not nicked over on itself. Doesn't look like it.
Can't see it now.
Yeah, stick a bolt in. Cool. Grab another one. Then you wind it right in, because you'll need the wiggle room to get the other ones in. Beautiful.
Bombs away.
Bombs away!
I might be able to get that one.
Yep. Even round the bottom, if you can get them in with your fingers. At least if they start, then it's held square and you don't risk wrecking the seal. Say if you can get them started with your fingers.
If being the main word there.
It's when you wish you had like your sister's hands or something like that. Nah, I need to get there. You get that one in?
I've got it started, I don't...
Then if you think it's on the wrong thread,
I think it's on the wrong thread.
Yeah, just leave it, because it's
Right,
alright.
tell you what, wait now. Let's just get them nipped. And at least that way, it should hold it flat enough for us
Can't
to...
ejecto itself out. Beautiful.
Stick that on it.
So, all the Allen keys on, and we'll put this clamp back on.
You know how it sits, mate.
Yeah, well, it's just going to get put on loosely, and
Is it?
then we'll just chuck it back on, so...
Clean. Alright. Right, that and a 10.
See if this clamp doesn't make the wastegate move. There should be a massive gap on it now, so... Yeah, that's better.
I'll do it that way.
Aye, that's fine. Doesn't really matter.
Go there with that 10. Yeah.
Beep. Cool. Right, let's get the gate of wasting on. You're not going to watch me put this on because it's not easy to get on. I will just love you and leave you. So wastegate back on, bolts ramped up FT. I will take this bracket off that never done anything, and I shouldn't have attached it to the chassis anyway. I'm going to take my dizzy cap off next to put some sealer on the O-ring. I think I'm just going to have a look at it because it does leak oil. I could tell from when I took the box off. So yeah, have a look at this. Everybody knows about these. They absolutely love to leak oil. I'm going to give this a wipe and silicone it back on, and hopefully that doesn't make everything leak. I'm going to grab a microfiber and give this a clean. This will probably do nothing because it's probably leaking through the bearing in the middle, but it might help and it costs nothing, so free gains and all that if it does do something, or nothing lost if it doesn't. Obviously I'm going standalone in the summertime probably anyway, so I'm going to get rid of that and it'll just be a bung. So it's the last time it goes on, but I'm going to struggle with getting this on, do a bit of parkour over my engine bay. You don't need to watch me do this because anyone that's got a Volvo has seen the nightmare that is getting this back on. So couple of wee changes under here. I just moved my exhaust bracket. It sits really close to the steering shaft. I had to just move this Jubilee clip round because as you can see it's been rubbing, and I moved this clamp around. JP done the two V-belts, beautiful, and obviously the wastegate and all that's in with the wee bleed valve. So yeah, just fire the radiator back in it and bleed her up, but she's not even got a, what do you call it, thermostat in it. So literally just fill it up and then do some wheel slips. Let's do it. Cool. Just had to just move the screamer slightly. The radiator is back in, so we can lift it up and put the hoses on. Nice, getting there slowly but surely. And I do need to take this wee connector up because one of them's burst open, but we'll do that shortly. Cool. So I decided I would put my anti-roll bar back on. I have done long bolts with nuts to simulate shocky because I've not got time for making spacers. I'm hoping to go drifting tomorrow. But yeah, double anti-roll bar, the old favourite Volvo mod. So we'll see if it makes any difference. While I'm here, I'm just going to make sure that my dampers after getting rebuilt are turned back to be the same, which they are. Let's drop it down, put some coolant in it. So, back together, running, no warped crank pulley. So yeah, we'll pick a wee run up the lane once she warms up a wee touch and see what boost it's doing, and then turn it up and see what boost it can do. Exciting, very exciting, and it's a nice day, can't complain. It is very stop or go.
Yeah, welcome to flapper clutch.
Cool, exciting. Big up to the neighbours. Oh well, the box works. Nice! Right, let's turn it up. Woo! Seems faster than the last time, but I don't know, maybe I've just been driving slow stuff for too long. Let's go turn it up. was at about 1.6.
On the nose.
It'll overboost ever so slightly then come back, but into that, like, we need to take it another wee blast.
You need to lock that off too.
Aye. Well, we'll just leave it loose. We'll just see what it can take before it shits a block.
Before it shits a block.
Sorry, Robert. Do a wee third gear fill. Nice. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Better turn the fan on.
Screen's turned off. Eh? Screen's turned off.
Aye, that's right. She's got a bit of poke about her, like.
She goes like.
For a wee baby turbo, anyway.
Push it back.
Yeah, I can see it. Sound. We'll call that test complete. She likes 2-bar, she likes her new box, she likes her new clutch, she likes her new V-belt, she likes her new crank pulley. If you've not bought a track car, expect to say she likes new, and new, because that is literally everything you do to it. It's just fit new parts all the time. Sick. We'll call that a video.